Today on the Trent Out Loud podcast. Monday night at the VMAs, host Jennifer Lopez was seen doing a medley of the best 2024 songs. During said performance, Jennifer Lopez was seen kissing not one, not two, but three of her dancers. And two of those dancers were girls. And of course, the entire world lost their mind. Mainstream media, social media, and your neighbors were talking about it. Myself, on the other hand, I thought it was a little bit boring. Have you guys not been watching my show every day? Do you not see what's going on with the diddler? Y'all remember that Diddy and J-Lo used to date, right? J-Lo was probably watching that trial, hearing everything about Diddy's past and all his ex-girlfriends, and wanted to send Diddy a little message. Diddy was probably in his cell having flashbacks, being like, oh, J-Lo, take that, take that. If you go back and watch that performance, you'll see that Jennifer Lopez was all oiled up. She was definitely sending a message to the diddler. It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, y'all, depending on what time zone you're in, it's Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. And to my Wednesday morningers, congratulations. We have made it halfway up the mountaintop. The weekend is only 2 days away. All right, I am laughing and smiling at the same time because I know I missed an episode. We'll talk about it more in comments of the day, but I'm back, y'all. My bad, all right? I got two lead stories for you, and I got a great show. We're going to kick it off by talking about Jennifer Lopez kissing her. You take one extra day off and now you can't even read. We're going to talk about Jennifer Lopez kissing her male and female dancers. We're also going to give you an American Music Awards wrap up. We're going to do that very quickly. All right. Also, Capricorn Clark recounts her horrible working experience on the Diddy trial. We're going to give you the prosecution and the defense side. In quick Diddy news, we're going to talk about Brian Steele asking for a mistrial. Gina will not be testifying according to reports, and Diddy moves to exclude Dawn Hughes and Kid Cudi's testimony. In quick news, we're going to talk Remy Ma, Papoose, U.S. Treasury, Anthony Edwards, Donald Trump, OnlyFans, Lil Kim, Tory Lanez, Kai Cenat, Travis Hunter, GloRilla, Micheal Jordan, the French president, and Vladimir Putin. I'm never taking any more days off, man. All right. As usual, we're going to close out the show with comments of the day, social discussion of the day, question of the day, and a little bit of sports news. I promise I'm going to get myself together. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, or your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. Let's go. All right, you guys, I have a little bit of a breaking story for you. Cassie at hospital in labor unit. It's not so much of a great thing that she's in this labor unit. Reports are that she was rushed to the hospital and there are some complications. She was still in New York City and she is in a hospital in New York. Reports, there's a lot of different reports going out online right now, so I don't want to speculate. You know, we don't do that here. Nobody is too sure when her delivery date was. We do know that it was supposed to be coming up soon, but we only know that because of how big her belly was, right? Nobody knows the exact date. So there is, like I said, there's some speculation that there might be some complications. And of course, people are going to think was stress due to the trial, etc. Let's not speculate anything right now. As we're recording, if anything pops up, I'll come back in breaking news here and report to you guys. If not, we'll just wait for tomorrow to just get all our information. I have put a call out to somebody. I'm supposed to hear something back. Cassie is in the hospital. She definitely is in the labor unit. We don't know if it is the proper time for her. Reports are that there are some complications. So all we know for now. I'll let you know when I know more. Our first lead story. Jennifer Lopez kisses both of her male and female backup dancers during the opening performance at the American Music Awards. Okay, I know I'm a little late on reporting on this, so I'm not going to dive too deep into the American Music Awards. I'm going to play a little clip from J-Lo. We're not going to play the full music because for copyright reasons, we'll put in some other music in the background, but just check out the video that everyone's talking about. And I'll fill you in on a couple of other things at the American Music Awards. But first, let's go to the Jennifer Lopez video. Take a look. Okay, first thing I want to say to that is, guys, it's 2024. Like, get over it. Like, big deal. She kissed her female and male dancers. Woohoo! Like, you guys remember when Madonna, Britney Spears, and Christina Aguilera kissed at the MTV Music Awards? That to me was a little bit more shocking, especially the time when it happened and the fact that it's Madonna, Britney, and Christina. I think the bigger shock would have been Christina and Britney kissing, but let's just not even go there. But I just didn't think that this needed to be like an international story, to be honest with me. Y'all let me know what you think in the comment section below. I think like the bigger story should have been how amazing J-Lo looked, how amazing her performance was, the melody of all of the songs, the hits from 2024. I think that should have been the bigger story. And yeah, she's single. I'm sure that's what she wanted to do, just get people out there like, I'm no longer with Ben Affleck. I'm divorced. I'm single. I'm out here. Okay, I'm sure she didn't even think that it was going to be that big of a deal, but I think that was the thing that got people talking the most. I actually heard from somebody that actually was working at the award show that the ratings actually went up when this hit online. It started around like, I think 8 o'clock, and then things picked up at around like 9:10 or 9:15, and it was really, really slow before. So, they do these things to kind of get people talking. But it did work because I didn't even know they were on, and I talked with a couple of other people, and they're like, I didn't even know the American Music Awards were going to be on. So y'all let me know if you were watching it, or even if you knew they were coming on. I mean, this is my job, to cover entertainment news, and I didn't even know the American Music Awards were on. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is Janet Jackson getting the Icon Award. And the funny thing is that I did hear about Janet Jackson getting the Icon Award, but I didn't make the connection of what award show that she was going to get it at. I think I actually even spoke about it maybe a week or 2 weeks ago that Janet was going to get the award, the Icon Award, but I don't know. It just slipped my mind. Anyways, I didn't even know the award show was coming on. But yes, kudos to J-Lo. She looked good. It was a great opening. But Janet Jackson, like, woo, my girl Janet, man. It's my original girlfriend, okay, Janet Jackson. You guys will hear me talking about Serena Williams or who's the other one I was talking about? Tiana Taylor, whatever, joking around saying they're going to be my baby mama. Yo, Janet Jackson is my original girl, okay? Love Janet. And the thing that I loved about Janet's performance, just she looked like she looked when she was, I don't even know how old she was when she came out with but Janet in her prime Janet, that's exactly how she looked. She didn't skip a beat. She had the same hairstyle. She did everything. Like, this was like poetic justice, Janet. Like, she looked really good, performance-wise, everything, like, amazing. I have even yet to see the full performance. I only caught a couple of things that I saw online. I wish I could play it for you guys. Of course I can't, but Janet looked great. You'll even see this picture that's up here beside me with that hair. Anyway, she just looked great, man. The only thing that was missing was like the poetic justice braids. That would have just been like the epitome of it, but she looked amazing. Shout out to Janet. The next thing I want to talk about is the male hip hop and female hip hop. That's another bit of controversy that's going on. Megan Thee Stallion wins favorite female hip hop artist, and Eminem wins favorite male hip hop artist at the American Music Awards. And just to tell you guys who was in the contest or who was in the running, it will make sense why people are talking about it. So female hip hop artist was Doechii, GloRilla, Latto, Megan Thee Stallion, Sexy Red. All top 5. You guys hear me talking about all 5 of those women, and I always applaud them. They're at the top of my list. Well, the newer generation list. And while Megan might not be the hottest out right now, because right now the hottest out right now is Doechii, obviously, and I would say Glow right after that. A lot of people don't realize the American Music Awards is fan voted. So Megan Thee Stallion just maybe has a larger fan base. Maybe, I don't know if it's only Americans that could vote, but maybe an international fan base or whatever. Whatever it is, whether it be solely American or international, her fans came out and voted for her. That's simply what it is. Where the other award shows, for example, like the Grammys, it's voted on by your peers. The Billboards only has to do with sales. So that's why we have different award shows. People just mistake and feel like it's just an award show and my favorite artist should win. No, Billboards simply based on sales. That's it. It's just sales. It's the Billboard Awards, and that's just sales. American Music Awards are just fans voting. Grammys, it's your peers. So shout out to Megan. I just don't like the backlash because she's still Megan Thee Stallion. She could still arguably, probably maybe from a hip hop like rapper standpoint, could maybe out rap maybe all of these girls except for Doechii. Like, Megan is nice. You know what I'm saying? She writes, she could flow, she could I just don't appreciate the hate. Now, when we talk about male hip hop artists, that I understand a little bit more because you had Drake, Eminem, Future, Kendrick, Tyler the Creator. Regardless of how you want to look at it, nobody had a better year in hip hop than Kendrick Lamar. Like, Kendrick Lamar should just be sweeping everything. I don't care if it's Billboard, I don't care if it's Grammy, I don't care who it is or what category. If it's hip hop, it should just be Kendrick Lamar. It's like it should be just done across the board. However, Eminem's fans came out and voted. He did have an album come out. He did sell 280,000 units, I think. Kendrick Lamar's GNX sold around the same thing. But again, I find it hard to sit down and for someone to tell me that 2024 that Kendrick shouldn't win everything in the hip hop category. It's a little tough, but you got to just go with your fans, right? Anyways, that was my quick recap of the American Music Awards. That was just my little takeaway. If I forgot anything, if I missed anything, because I'm being super honest, I didn't see most of it. I've just been trying to catch up online to give you guys a little quick recap. If I missed anything, let me know what your highlights were, what you liked, and also what you thought about Eminem and Megan Thee Stallion. Also, we thought about Janet Jackson. And more importantly, was it really a big deal that J-Lo kissed her backup dancers, male and female? It's 2025. Get over it. Let me know in the comment section below. Our second lead story. All right, it's time to get into the diddler. Capricorn Clark says she was threatened, testifies about Suge Knight, 50 Cent, and theft accusation. All right, I'm not going to read the whole thing because I have 2 or 3 things that I want to get to about Capricorn Clark. But I did want to just give you guys a background of who Capricorn is. We have been talking about Diddy's assistant. Well, she was one of Diddy's assistants, first of all. And this is a third assistant, but she goes a little bit deeper. So I want to give you guys a little bit of a background, and then I'll let you know what she said on the stand, okay? Diddy's one-time assistant, Capricorn Clark, took to the stand and was asked about physical threats from her former boss and being accused of stealing from the disgraced rap mogul. Clark was asked where she grew up, and she talked about working for Def Jam before moving to Death Row Records, and she was asked by prosecutions about its former chief, Suge Knight. Knight is the father of her friend's child, Clark said. Clark detailed a variety of jobs he performed for Diddy's organization, including being in charge of the women's division at Sean John, a clothing company. Clark was asked about her first day working for Diddy in 2004. She said Diddy took her to Central Park along with someone named Uncle Polly, who was built like a linebacker. Clark testified Diddy told her that since she worked for Suge Knight, if anything happened, he would have to unalive her. Promoting an objection from the defense, the judge overruled. Clark told the jury she took the statements very seriously. Clark said she witnessed Diddy in possession of a GUN at her house. She testified he talked about having problems with rapper 50 Cent. She also talked about being accused of stealing jewelry while working for Diddy. Clark said she was questioned for hours about it by Uncle Polly. and taken up to the 6th floor of a dilapidated place. She says the door was locked behind her and a heavyset man was sitting at a folding table. She described two men the size of linebackers and said she was told she was there to take a lie detector test. Clark says she was told if she failed the polygraph, she would be thrown in the East River. That promoted a defense objection and a sidebar with the judge. Clark said the lie detector test ordeal lasted 5 days and they returned to the same location again and again. She said she was not free to leave during these interrogations. She said she was allowed to return to work after that. When asked why she didn't leave the company, Clark said, if I left, they'd think I stole. She also said she got around 4 hours of sleep per night and was paid $55,000 per year and never got paid overtime. She was asked about Diddy's hotel stays, and she said he took cameras and small bottles of baby oil and lube in a bag every time. Last week, another assistant also talked about Diddy being preoccupied with employees stealing from him and testifying about polygraph tests. The judge discussed testimony from an investigator and a key witness from last week surrounding the events of rapper Kid Cudi, whose Porsche was destroyed in his driveway by a Molotov cocktail back in 2012. Prosecutors objected to an investigator's report. Defense say DNA evidence from the scene was consistent with a female. Prosecutors say the DNA issue could have misled the jury. All right, so this was from last week, Kid Cudi and his car. We told you about that. So Capricorn Clark, this is the person who we're thinking was the one who did that to Kid Cudi's car. The defense had an investigator's report that had DNA saying that, hey, there was no male DNA found on Kid Cudi's car. It was a female. So the defense is trying to allude to the fact that it could have been Capricorn Clark. But if you ask me, this is counterproductive. I don't know why the prosecution wouldn't want the DNA report to be let into the trial, because if it's a female DNA, yes, Diddy wasn't the one who did it, but this would go to racketeering, saying that Diddy was the one that made Capricorn Clark do this. So anyways, I know it's getting a little bit confusing, but maybe when we talk a little bit more about Capricorn Clark's testimony with Kid Cudi, it will start to make sense to you, okay? So this is the second part to her testimony. Diddy's former employee, Capricorn Clark, testifies Diddy broke into Kid Cudi's home and planned to unalive him after finding out about Cassie and Cudi's relationship. Clark, who managed Cassie's image and career moves, testified she took Cassie to purchase a burner phone when she learned Cassie was dating Kid Cudi. She said Cassie told her about the relationship via text, which was a bad idea because Diddy paid for both of their phones. Clark said they went to Best Buy to get new phones because she feared Cassie was going to get us all unalived. Capricorn Clark testified about the morning of December the 22nd, 2011. She said Diddy banged on her apartment door holding a gun, asking about Kid Cudi. She said Diddy was visibly frustrated after finding out about Cudi and Cassie and said, "Get dressed, we're going to unalive that N-word." Clark says she didn't want to go, and Diddy replied, "I don't give an F what you want, get dressed." Clark says when she arrived at Cudi's home, Diddy and his security guard entered the house through the front door. Clark says she was left in the car, so she called Cassie on her burner phone to alert her. Cassie was with Cudi at the time. Clark said Diddy came back to her car, took her phone, and called the last number on her phone history. Clark said, "He took my phone and called the last number. Then I saw Kid driving up. Mr. Combs saw his face and said, 'There's that N-word right there.' We drove off and saw police driving the other way towards Cudi's house." Clark testified Diddy ordered her to call Cassie and tell her that Diddy had her and wouldn't let her go until Cassie arrived. Clark said Cassie agreed and asked her to pick her up. Once Clark picked up Cassie, she says they both went to Diddy's house. He allegedly told them not to speak to the police and asked them to convince Cudi not to tell the police he was involved in the break-in. Capricorn said that after she and Cassie arrived at Diddy's home, he repeatedly put hands on Cassie. Clark tearfully testified she saw Diddy come at Cassie 100% full force, putting hands on her and feet while she was in the fetal position. Clark says Diddy told her, if you jump in, I'm going to F you up. She added that Diddy's security guards did not intervene. Okay, so I thought this was going to talk a little bit more about the DNA and clarify things up for you, but let's just not even think about that right now. This is going really to the racketeering. That's all this is. Anytime you hear any of Diddy's assistants, it's him getting the people that work for him to do things that have nothing to do with Bad Boy or Sean John or Ciroc or anything. You get hired at Sean John Enterprises, you should be doing something with Ciroc. You should be doing something with Sean John. You should be doing something with the label. You should be doing something with artists. That is what your days should be taken up with. You know, it's not so alarming to me hearing the long hours working or the pay. That's normal in the music industry. Okay, trust me, I've been in the music industry for 10 years. It's one of the things people say. You're so anxious and you're so amped to get in, but people don't realize how long the hours are. Surprising to me that Diddy wouldn't pay them overtime. That's just crazy work. But if somebody is willing to work and get overtime, the music industry is the industry to be in. But the alarming thing is the things that he was having them do, showing up to her house. And that is the charge of taking somebody. I don't want to say that word because I don't want to get flagged, but that's part of RICO, taking somebody. You can't take somebody against their will. So that is part of RICO. So he has people hired for him, and then he has them doing all of these crazy things, all right? Having her call Cassie to say unless Cassie doesn't come back, he's not going to let her go is crazy, crazy work. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about just something else here, but I do have to say that the more and more testimonies that go on, I do find it a little shocking that there's no text messages, there's no video, like there's no evidence of this, and it's really starting to bother me. Last week I told you guys that we shouldn't expect any hard evidence. I came to that realization after speaking with a few lawyers. If there was hard evidence, like video evidence, then Diddy wouldn't be able to plead not guilty. He would have no choice but to plead guilty. The fact that we are going to trial means that there was no hard evidence. That means that he could get out of it, and there's going to be a lot of hearsay. But I just don't understand. Nobody took out their phone and got audio. Nobody has like some sort of text messages. Like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not advocating for Diddy, and I'm not saying that these people are I'm not saying these people are lying. I just don't understand why there is nothing else other than these testimonies to collaborate these testimonies. And it like, if the next, what are we on the second week? If the next 4 weeks are literally just going to be people coming up and recounting stories about working for Diddy and all of these things that Diddy did to them, and not one person has proof, it's very possible that this will end up in a mistrial. It's very possible that 1 or 2 or 3 jurors are going to look and say, this is nuts. Like, you had me sit down here for 2 months out of my life during the summer, and you didn't come up with a text message or a video or a leaked or an audio or something. Like, we even have audio on Shannon Sharp. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do we not have anything? Anyways, hopefully that is coming, but like I said, from talking with people and from legal experts and people that are even there in the courtroom, I don't know if it's coming. Also, before we wrap this up, I just want to give you 2 other points that I got from somebody who is actually at the Diddy trial. During cross-examination, the defense pointed out 2 things: that Capricorn Clark tried to get a job from Diddy as recent as 2024. So this is the defense poking holes. Really? You had such a bad time? You're saying that he did all of these things to you 10, 15 years ago. Why up until last year are you trying to get a job with Diddy? And they also said, or they showed a text message from 2021 that showed that Capricorn Clark was alleging the fact that she had a crush on Diddy. So the defense is trying to make it look and see, well, maybe she had a crush on him. Maybe she was a little bit jealous of Cassie. Maybe she wanted to be in Cassie or Gina or Kim's position or whatever. We can't get mad at the defense for doing their job. They're getting paid $3 million. I feel super bad to hear like that's the job that she had to go through. And it's even more heartbreaking to hear that she felt like she had no choice but to go back and to get another job with Diddy again, I guess hoping in the back of her head that things have changed and he's not like that anymore. Who knows her thought process, what's going on. I didn't, if you show somebody a text saying that maybe she has a little crush or maybe she likes somebody with something, like, I don't feel like that totally negates her testimony. However, obviously it doesn't look good if you're, on the stand in the morning saying how you feel threatened and you feel all this or whatever, blah, blah. And then there's text messages of you saying that, hey, you might have a crush. And then actually that's also your boss, right? So I'll leave that to you guys to decide. But once again, the prosecution is going to need to start coming up with some evidence. That's my takeaway from a court legal point of view. From a personal point of view, I mean, we all know. We all know that Diddy is scum. You know what I mean? Like, we all know, like, it's, who would ever want to work for this guy ever again? But in the court system, we're going to have to start bringing some evidence, like for now, the only evidence that we have are, some text messages from Cassie, but then there was text messages from Cassie back to Diddy that negates that. And there's this CNN videotape. And before this trial started, everybody was saying how important this is. Now I'm seeing why that videotape is so important. Without that CNN videotape in the 2016 Intercontinental Hotel, when we see Diddy putting hands on Cassie, without that, I don't even know if they could bring this trial to court. It's a lot of people talking, and they're talking horrible things. Let's also just keep in mind, just remember that before anybody goes and testifies, they're interviewed 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, some of them 8 times before with the prosecution. They go over what they're going to testify, what they're going to say. Diddy has some of the best lawyers in the US, man. Like, we got to do better if we want to put this guy in jail for the rest of his life. Like, I don't want to hear from another assistant that, I want somebody to have a recording. There's got to be some surprise somewhere. Like, where is the hammer coming down on Diddy? This is what I'm waiting for every day. Maybe I'm trying to rush it a little too much, but bring the hammer down, yo. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to quick Diddy news. Ring my bell. Our first quick Diddy story. Sean Diddy Combs' lawyer, Brian Steele, asked for a mistrial today. This was on Friday, by the way, after prosecutors asked Kid Cudi if he had safety concerns. Steele told the judge at a sidebar, the answer is about to be that Mr. Combs has had other people unalived. This is an outrageous question. The judge was not having it. The judge says, yes, but Mr. Steele, he didn't say that. Steele says, yes, but he was about to say that. The judge says, yes, but he hasn't said that. Steele says, well, he's about to say it. I'm putting the court on notice. And then the judge says, no, you do not get to put me on notice. Here is the rest of the discussion. Mr. Steele, what is your point here? You want to move on? Yes, please. So let's just move on. Okay, I want to throw that in here quickly for you guys, just to show you Diddy's tactics. And I have a couple of things else in quick Diddy news. Diddy's whole defense, like I've told you guys since the beginning, is, hey, they have a bunch of testimony that is really, really, really damaging testimony. The one sliver of hope is there's not much evidence. There's just testimony. So only thing that we're going to do is we're going to try for mistrials. We're going to try for appeals. So Diddy's whole defense team that he's paying $3 million for a month is not necessarily to get him off guilty. It's really just to get him found not guilty. It's really for a mistrial. Like, every single thing that somebody says is going to be scrutinized. I just wanted to show you guys proof that just on Friday alone, they tried to have grounds for a mistrial off of a question that the prosecutor asked and that Kid Cudi was about to say. That's how desperate Diddy's team is. It's crazy. Anyways, let's go to the next one. Our second quick Diddy story. Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Gina, unlikely to testify in SEX trafficking trial. Journalists say not usually effective to subpoena a victim witness. All right, this goes to victim 3, who we've been telling you guys about before the trial even started, that we're not sure she's going to show up. We're assuming it was Gina. Nobody knew for sure, and we're wondering where she was. I kind of give you some nudge, nudge, wink, wink that, maybe Gina got a bag and she was like, all right, cool, I'm not testifying. Her and Cassie has always been at odds. She was very unhappy that Cassie got her 20 mil. Maybe Diddy got to her. Here is some confirmation that she's not going to be showing up. This is a trial journalist. Says, it's not a good look, nor is it usually effective to subpoena a victim witness. In USA versus Sean Combs, the prosecutors have brought in on subpoena, for example, witness Kerry Morgan and personal assistant George, even giving him immunity. But so far, no Gina. Gina has a complicated history with Diddy, having been romantically linked to him on and off for several years. The relationship frequently made headlines, including during the period when Diddy was also publicly dating Young Miami from the City Girls. Gina and Young Miami infamously exchanged words online over the mogul, adding fuel to the public interest in Gina's connection to the case. Unlike other key witnesses, such as Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, who chose to cooperate with the prosecution, there has been no reports that Gina has volunteered to testify on her own accord. As the trial continues, it's unclear whether prosecutors will change course, but for now, it appears Gina will remain absent from the witness list. Will they subpoena her? There's been reports that even if she is subpoenaed, she's not going to come. So we know, will that play? Basically, what he's trying to say here is that that's not going to play well to the jury. Somebody who is a victim, you don't necessarily want to subpoena them like, hey, I already went through enough. Now you're going to subpoena me and make me come to the court. Diddy's legal team will completely tear the prosecution apart. So if Gina's not going to voluntarily come, then the prosecution probably will not subpoena her. Having said all that, there's still 4 more weeks. And like I said to you guys in the past, lawyers and even defense and even the prosecution will always make audibles. They'll see how their case is going. If it's not going well, don't count it out that they won't subpoena her. If they feel like they need her, don't count it out that they will subpoena Gina. And Gina has a lot of information. So we'll see how that goes. Our third quick Diddy story. Saturday night edition, Diddy docket. Sean Combs moves to exclude expert doctor Dawn Hughes' testimonies as improper after inner city press docket win. Diddy's legal team demands expert witness junk witness testimony be thrown out. Again, just showing you guys that every day after court is done, Diddy's legal team really gets to working. By the way, for those who don't remember or maybe missed a couple episodes, Dawn Hughes is the psychologist that testified. I think Johnny Depp and can't remember who else. I think Harvey Weinstein, if I'm not mistaken. But she's an expert witness. Totally has more than enough experience, and she testified to the fact that some women in relationships like Diddy and Cassie's will not necessarily leave right away after a traumatic experience. And they just testified of like Stockholm syndrome, etc. We won't get into it. We covered that last week. Diddy's defense team is trying to get that thrown out. And again, just because this judge doesn't throw it out doesn't mean that a judge later on during the appeal process won't overturn, give him a new trial, etc., etc. There's a lot of things that are going on beyond the courtroom. Let's just put it that way. Yes, there's a lot of people in the courtroom now, giving you play-by-play sometimes, like throughout the day in the court case or whatever. But mark my word, trust me, this trial is not going to be played out during the day-to-day testimony. I will be shocked if Diddy is convicted on all 3 charges just through testimony and given life, and then there's no mistrial and no appeal. This is how Diddy is going to not win, but at least maybe beat some charges and get some things lessened is through things like this. Oh, this cannot be admitted. Oh, this can't be admitted. This is how they're going to pick apart the case. It's horrible. It is horrible, but this is the legal system, and this is where we live. It's what we do. I got to tell you one more. Let's go to the next story. Our fourth quick story. Diddy asked judge to nick Kid Cudi's car story. Zero proof that I did it. See, once again, TMZ has obtained legal documents filed in Diddy's criminal case where his lawyer argued Kid Cudi's claim about Diddy's alleged involvement in his 2012 car episodes are nothing but opinion and shouldn't be allowed in court. In short, they're saying Kid Cudi thinks Diddy did it, but there's no hard evidence, no confession, no receipts. As we reported, Kid Cudi told the court last week that he knew Diddy had something to do with the Molotov cocktail attack on his Porsche after ending things with Cassie, but admitted there was no witnesses, fingerprints, or proof linking Diddy to the incident. Just it's what it is, man. You know, like, anyways, don't let it get you upset. I don't think Diddy's going to get off by no means. Like, Diddy is doing some time. Like, that is for sure. We already know that there's one count that the prosecution has done a great job at proving the SCX across state lines, the SCX trafficking. That is for sure done. They have a very strong case with the SCX trafficking, force, fraud, and coercion. Cassie, the CNN tape, a lot of those mail workers, etc. I think that the thing that they're going to have a hard time is RICO, and RICO is the thing that gets the longest time. That's why it's the first count. I feel like they're doing a poor job proving RICO. You know, if they had proof on the things that they were saying, this guy, you could just throw away the key. It would be done. But that is what Diddy is working on fighting. I'm sure he's surrendering to those other, well, surrendering definitely to the last one, and trying to work his money magic on the second and first. But that's quick Diddy news. Let me know what you guys think about everything that happened with the Diddy trial today. And of course, we'll be back tomorrow. We're going to go on to quick news, regular quick news. We got Trump to talk about. We got the world issues, man. We can't only just focus on Diddy. Let's go to regular quick news right now. All right, this brings us to regular quick news. Ring my bell. Actually, before we start, I have a couple of days to get through. There's a lot that went on, so I'm going to go a little bit quicker during quick news. Might be a little bit of speed news, all right, for my old school followers. Y'all know we used to do quick news and speed news. This will be quick and speed news, all right? Ring my bell. Our first quick story. Papoose claims he wrote 90% of Remy Ma's rhymes and says she moves very strange amid their messy split. All right, Papoose is making bold claims about his estranged wife, Remy Ma. In a recent IG Live, the rapper alleged that I wrote 90% of rhymes that came out of Remy Ma's mouth. Papoose also slammed Remy for moving strange and adhered to taking jabs at Easy the Blockchain. That's Remy Ma's ex or present boyfriend. We don't know yet. The battle rapper linked to Remy Ma amid cheating rumors. Fans are now divided with questions about the authenticity about Remy Ma's catalog. All right. In general, y'all know I don't like to get into relationship stuff, but this all started when Clarisse Shields was on the undisputed female heavyweight champion of the world. My girl, love her. I told you guys last week, she was on Breakfast Club, and she literally alluded to the fact of Remy and Papoose, still not having a divorce and whatever. She didn't even mention Remy's name. And I actually played it just to show how classy Clarissa Shields. Did I call her Clarissa? Anyways, y'all know me names. How classy Clarissa Shields was and is. And Papoose, Remy Ma, not so much, because over the weekend they went back and forth. I'm going to play you a couple of quick clips and then we're going to move on. All right, take a listen.
She moves very strange. I seen a video where she looked outside herself. I'm not accusing her of anything. This is not my style. But the fact that you mentioned my children and fabricated all these stories about me, about this money, when I wrote 90% of your rhymes since I met you.
Anytime your current come up situation, I'ma drag you. And every time you bring your little girly self on here and saying something, I'ma drag you. Every time, Willie.
Just get divorced already. Give me a break. Our second quick story. The U.S. Treasury says goodbye to pennies, sparking change in cash transactions. All right, the pennies days are officially over. The U.S. Treasury confirmed it's phasing out the production of 1-cent coins and will stop sending new ones into circulation. Once the current inventory of penny blanks run out, there will be no more fresh pennies. While customers can still use them, businesses will begin rounding prices to the nearest nickel during cash transactions. Since it costs more than 3 cents to produce a single penny, Donald Trump pushed for the move earlier this year, calling the coin a budget waste. However, eliminating the penny could just be one part of a bigger money mess. Nickels are even more expensive to make, each one costing 13.8 cents to make. Isn't that crazy? It costs 3 cents to make 1 penny, and it costs 14 cents to make a nickel. Crazy. I want to throw it in here just so that you guys are updated. If you ask me, I don't know how y'all feel, but I'm cool with getting all cash just totally abolished. Everybody should just go over to debit, man. I hate cash. I'm so done with it. Just get rid of it all. I know some of y'all who, do some kind of different work out there probably don't want to hear that, but we got crypto for that and there's other means. I'm so done with cash. It's so like 2010. Let me know what you guys think about not having the penny. Are you guys going to miss it? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Our third quick story. Anthony Edwards has filed a claim accusing Aisha Howard of harassing and inappropriate tactics, saying she's stalking him, harassing his NBA teammates, and allegedly went to a hotel asking about him. Okay, y'all know I'm fascinated with this. I don't really like going into relationship stuff, but I'm really upset with Anthony Edwards not looking out for his looking out for his child. So I'm definitely into keeping up with this story. Anthony Edwards and Aisha Howard saga continues. As we all watch the pair's legal battle concerning their child's payout, a new twist and drama has popped up. According to In Touch, Anthony Edwards filed a claim in court on May 15th. He's accusing Howard of inappropriate tactics and harassment. His lawyer says Aisha has been performing harassing service attempts in California despite California's previous rule of jurisdiction. The claim says she is basically stalking him by having him staked out, popping up at his hotel and asking for his whereabouts and even harassing his NBA teammates. Anthony Edwards' lawyer says those actions reach to the point where they're messing with his employment and in the end just disrupts the best interests of their child. Aisha vehemently denies those claims. Y'all know me, I need receipts. I don't know, but to be fair, when Ant does something, gotta report it. There's reports that Aisha is starting to harass him and, showing up at hotels and stuff or whatever, which is not cool. Again, people, there is a child at play here. We need to just come together and find some way to have Anthony Edwards have visitation rights. Well, he doesn't even want visitation rights, but Aisha, if you are doing this, it's not good either, all right? Just want to follow up. Our fourth quick story. President Donald Trump threatens 25% tariff on Apple if they don't start making iPhones in the US. Donald Trump tweeted this out and says, I have long informed Tim Cook of Apple that I expect their iPhones that will be sold in the United States of America will be manufactured and built in the United States, not India or any place else. If that is not the case, a tariff of at least 25% must be paid by Apple to the US. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Donald Trump is calling on Apple to manufacture its iPhones in the US and threatened it with a tariff of 25%. Trump made these comments in a post on Truth Social platform saying the tech giant should not manufacture its phones in India or any other nation. Donnie. This is what makes it so hard for people to just give you the benefit of the doubt, which is something that I try to do, even though people drag me in my own comment section for it. I have gone on record to say, look, I do not like how Donald Trump went about his tariffs, but I hope he's doing it for the best interest of the United States. There was a trade imbalance. Nobody can argue that. China was doing a lot of shady things. Let's give him a month or 2 months to try to work things out. Let's come together as a people for the greater good. If he does come up with a great plan, It'll be good for everybody. And it was going well. It's going well so far. You do know that China and the US had a 90-day pause. But then you come out and say things like, I'm going to tariff one specific company just on iPhones because they're going to be sold here. And that's just like, by the way, he's already backtracked and said, oh, just not Apple, but anybody making phones. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I understand that Donald Trump is patriotic and he would love to be like, this is a popular thing. Well, this needs to be made in the US. Well, things don't work like that. You can't put a tariff on an iPhone. Like, what about the Apple Watch? Anyways, like I said, he's already walked it back, but it's things like this that people on the left or just even people that don't like Donald Trump harp on. It's the 1 a.m. True Social tweets or whatever you call them. What do you call things on True Social? Are they still tweets even though they're not on Twitter? And Twitter's not even Twitter anymore. It's X. So is it called an X'd? Anyways, let's go on to the next story. Our fifth quick story. OnlyFans owner Leo in talks to sell site to an investor group for around $8 billion in value. Okay, we're always talking about OF and girls being on OF and if it's right or whatever. I just wanted to let you all know how rich one person is getting off of it, all right? OnlyFans owner Felix International is in discussions to sell the company to an investor group led by Forest Road Company at a valuation of approximately $8 billion. These talks have been ongoing since at least March 2025, and while the deal could be finalized in the coming weeks, there is no certainty if an agreement will be reached. OnlyFans, known as a subscription-based adult content, experienced significant growth during 2020. We all know why. In the year ending November 2023, the company garnered $6.6 billion in revenue, a substantial increase from $375 million in 2020. $375 million to $6.6 billion. That is crazy. Despite the financial success, OnlyFans faces challenges in attracting buyers due to its adult content focus. Many institutional investors and financial institutions are hesitant to engage in adult-oriented business because the reputation and risk of regulatory concerns. The stigma has made it difficult for the company to secure a buyer, even though it has an impressive profitability. The owner has paid himself dividends of close to $1 billion over the past 3 years. While the company explores sales, it has not declined also going the IPO route. So we'll see. Anyways, we always talk about here about people on OF and OF models. Just wanted to let you all know that it is working out here, $8 billion. I, for one, am... I don't have a membership for OnlyFans. I've never gone on there, but I do think that I think it's a good alternative for women, and it's safer, and it also it puts the money back into the right hands. Let's just put it that way. I feel like women are able to be their own bosses on the platform. Not encouraging it, not saying that it's right or whatever, blah, blah. But if you're in that line of business, OnlyFans is the best place, and women are able to make a ton load of money and have full control. So I like that aspect of OnlyFans, although some people don't like it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Our sixth quick story, Lord Lil Kim. All right, for my daily listeners, you know that we spoke about Lil Kim. I think it was last week with something about with like GloRilla. I can't remember what it was. I know what it was. It was when we were talking about GloRilla's nose job. I actually have a follow-up with her nose job about that too. And I was saying, Glo could do whatever she wants. Her body, her choice, 100%. But I said, I'm a little afraid of her turning into Lil Kim, because Lil Kim, it was the same thing too. It was the chest area, then it was just the nose. That's the same two things that GloRilla did, etc. And a couple of people in the comment section were like, oh, what's wrong with Lil Kim? She's not that bad. Exhibit A right here beside me. 50 Cent actually put this up over the weekend and was trolling Lil Kim, as he always does. They're still beefing from all of these years, but just wanted to put this up here to show y'all in the comment section who don't know what Lil Kim looks like today. This is what she looks like. And when I was talking about Glo and female rappers in the industry, I was saying that to me, Lil Kim is the GOAT. Everybody else after her, they're really just following in her footsteps, but she doesn't get the recognition and the accolades that she deserves because of this. I think it's really because of this. Of course, she's still Lil Kim and she's still going to be honored, but I think that the mistake that she did with the surgeries that she's had is what makes her almost a little bit laughable now and not looked at as the female GOAT, the GOAT, whatever Clarissa Shields calls herself, GWOAT, GWOAT. Yeah, GWOAT. Anyways, let me know what y'all think about Lil Kim. I'm actually see what y'all are going to comment below about this. Shout out to 50 Cent. Our seventh quick story. Rep Luna drops bombshell affidavit claiming Kelsey Harris was the one that had the GUN, not Tory Lanez. All right, I was telling you guys this all last week about the new team and everything that they're garnering together for Tory Lanez. There is the driver that was driving Kelsey, saying that he heard Kelsey saying that she was the one who actually did that to Megan. There is the thing that happened in the jail cell, and there's the ring video footage. There's a couple of things going on moving for Tory, but one of the things that we said last week was the fact that this driver is saying it, but it's actually not official. Just wanted to let you guys know now that it is official. Here it is. This is the sworn affidavit. This now will be given to the court and be submitted to Governor Newsom, who is the governor of California. And now they have this. They have the new video. They're going with the DNA. They're going with all of these things to go to ask for a pardon. If not a pardon, definitely grounds for a mistrial and for Tory Lanez to have another case. Of course, they just want him pardoned and let out, right? That's what they want him out. Even if he gets a new trial, he still will be let out because he was already granted bail. So just wanted to give you guys an update on that. They now have a sworn affidavit. Things are moving ahead of freeing Tory Lanez. Our eighth quick story. Over 1 million applied, but around 150 got in. Now, 23-year-old Cenat streaming university is taking over the internet. All right, so this happened over the weekend. Shout out to Cenat. You know, I always try to amplify all content creators, whether you're a YouTuber or podcaster or streaming. Love to hear this. Huge over the weekend. It was on my timeline like crazy. Shout out to Kai. For those of you who don't know, he had a streaming university and he brought 150 streamers all into a college or all into a dorm, and they were just kind of piggybacking and just the big networking. Some of you may have heard some backlash that he was getting from this. I had a video, and I'm not even going to play because I'm, you know me, I don't really get into the negativity. But some people were saying that Kai didn't give opportunity to up-and-coming streamers, that he gave opportunity to streamers that already have had a name for themselves. And while I understand the million people that submitted, from 1 million to 150, you're automatically just going to get people that are going to be upset. And the point of his university was just that, a university. I don't think it would have been fair for Kai to take somebody who just started streaming last week and put him in university. That's like taking somebody from elementary school and putting them into university. You have to be doing this for a couple of years, and you have to have your own base, and then Kai will take you up and put you into a position to take you to the next level. You know, it's kind of like somebody on YouTube that has, 100 or 200,000 followers, and then you would get accepted to, let's say, a Kai University. All right, we'll help you go to, because you've already proven yourself, you have your own base and whatever, let's take you to 1 million. So I just don't really like the backlash he's getting. A lot of people want to get into the content creator community and think that, someone's just going to pick you up. It's not going to work that way. So for those of you who have heard backlash, that's just people hating, and that's just people who are just starting to get into the content creator community and literally want a handout. He was very clear. He said that he was going to take streamers and try to help them. He never said, exactly who he was going to take. And I thought it was justified. So I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in there for the people who know about this, what's going on, because there was a big backlash. There was a big talk on weekend positivity, but also a lot of backlash. But I feel like Kai handled it right. And I feel like he did the correct thing amplifying people that already had a base and not taking people who don't have a base to try to help them get a base. You have to establish yourself first. So for those of you who are into this and know it, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Our ninth quick story. Congratulations are in order. Travis Hunter and longtime partner Lena tie the knot. All right. Y'all know, for my daily listeners, y'all know that we talked at length about Travis Hunter, Heisman Trophy winner, used to play with Deion Sanders, went second round, got married to his longtime sweetheart, Lena. Quick backstory. From Travis got on the scene, his girlfriend has been dragged. There's video of her saying that he was never really her type. He used to just drop me outside of parties. He would wait outside. Basically, in a nutshell, alluding to the fact that she's not really in love with him. She doesn't really want to be with him. And she's just with him because she knows that he is going to get a big contract one day. And he has literally gotten so upset of his fans at the talk that he literally got off of social media for 6 months. That is just a quick recap. People close to him say that that's his high school sweetheart. They're in love. We, on the outside looking in, shouldn't say anything. And it's just kind of like died down. Of course, this is brought back up now because clearly he didn't listen to outside people, which he shouldn't. And he got married over the weekend. The bigger news over the weekend is the fact that he got married to her with no prenup. So, I mean, I have played clips of things of her saying to him outside of like his autograph signing and things that I feel like she should have been more supportive. Even the award show, the award ceremony when the night he won his Heisman Trophy. She will say that she just doesn't like being out in public, and that's why she could come off a little bit cold. Your man is winning the Heisman Trophy. Maybe you don't like being out in public, but you got to be a little bit more supportive. However, I wanted to bring this up to say, I trust Travis. He is the one making the money. It's his contract. If he says that he knows his girl and he's happy marrying her and he doesn't want a prenup, I don't think it's for any of us to say. I do have my reservations about her, but you cannot judge somebody from videos and pictures. If he feels like she loves him, all the more power. Here's a video of their wedding. Take a look. Jacksonville Jaguars first round wide receiver cornerback Travis Hunter reportedly does not have a prenup agreement with his new wife, Lena. If you don't sign a prenup, your state law will dictate how assets and debts are divided in the event of divorce or if somebody is no longer here, and how alimony and spousal support will be determined. This is a notable decision, and it's unusual for high-profile athletes to forego prenups, considering their large net worth. Hunter is 22 years old, and he gifted his new bride a $300,000 Mercedes at their wedding. And he is expecting to sign a 4-year, $50 million fully guaranteed contract with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And that includes a $30 million signing bonus. So Travis is going to be rich, and she's going to get half. There are reports that she's pregnant. That's why they got married this quickly. And maybe he feels like, look, this is going to be the mother of my children, and she deserves half in the event that we're no longer together. And I just think us on the outside looking in will never be able to know what is 100% going on through somebody's mind. And on the other side, yes, he is young. He's 22. He's definitely in love. His first love, his high school sweetheart. If he's wrong, he'll live and learn. He is going to be making so much more money in the long run anyways. Let her have half of the half of the 50 mil, which is 25. If that's really what she's out for, we'll soon be able to tell. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Our 10th quick story. GloRilla put Micheal Jackson in her avatar, her profile display on Instagram. I absolutely love this, although I'm not a fan of the nose job. I like the fact that Glo just doesn't care. She doesn't care what you say. She doesn't care what you guys are talking about. And she's just taking a step further and putting Micheal Jackson, the light-skinned Micheal Jackson, by the way, heavily nose job Micheal Jackson, by the way, in her avatar. And she's like, I don't care what y'all think about me. I love it. I love it. And this is why I love Glo. What do y'all think about the Micheal Jackson, and what do you think about her nose job? Let me know in the comment section below. Our 11th quick story. Micheal Jordan is returning to sports for $40 million per year, one of the highest paid broadcasters ever. Micheal Jordan is returning to the sports world as a broadcaster and will allegedly be making $40 million a year for it. This will put him as one of the most highest paid, beating Tom Brady, who receives $37.5 million from Fox. So happy to hear about this, because I told you guys, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, that Jordan is coming back to NBC as a special contributor. And while I'm happy for him, I was just like, I don't know if I want to see Micheal Jordan like up there talking like a regular person. Like, he's so on another level to be a commentator. But Tom Brady does it. I don't like seeing Tom Brady in that scope either. Like, he's the GOAT, you know? But I did say, I think Jordan is probably bored. And I think that's Tom Brady too, you know? Like, they're probably just sitting down saying, I spent my whole life flying here, doing this, da-da-da-da-da. And all of a sudden, you're just stuck doing nothing. I don't think these guys necessarily need the money, although $40 million cash doesn't hurt anybody. But I really think Jordan is broke. Another thing, I actually also think that Jordan is a little tired of hearing the LeBron James comparison. And if you guys remember when he put out The Last Dance, it was said that he never wanted to put that out. It was recorded, 97 and 96, 97, and they had it just chilling. And as LeBron started getting closer, the conversation of who's the GOAT, he was like, yo, let's put that out. I want to remind people. And now that LeBron is at 40,000 or whatever, I think it might be Jordan's way to come back out and remind the new generation who he really is. So I think he's bored, and I think he just wants to remind people that he is the GOAT. Because, you know, now that he comes out, they'll play more highlights. They'll talk about him. He'll be in the algorithm more. He's going to be doing more things, right? So we'll see. I just don't know how I feel about seeing Jordan up there commentating. Like, oh, well, he should do this, throw this in here. Like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Our 12th quick story. Video shows French president being pushed in the face by his wife. This is the moment Emmanuel Marcos appears to be slapped by his wife. All right, I put this up on Formerly Out Loud. If you guys want to go check it out, you can. I'm going to play a little clip for you here. Anyways, just take a listen. Okay, there's really no sound there, so there's nothing to listen to. But he came back out after and was like, oh, that was just a little playful moment between my wife and I. Why do these, especially politicians, lie in our face? We see the video, bro. And because if that was a push in the face, like a fun push in the face, then your reaction wouldn't be like, oh no, the camera's on, and then running back and then coming out. If you did that, if it was a push, you'd be like, yo, honey, you would smile and be like, yo, and then she would come and then she would laugh and smile. Bro, you got slapped in the face by your wife. It's just, it is what it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, come up with a better excuse. But anyways, you are led to believe that that was a playful gesture by his wife. Y'all let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. Our 13th quick story. I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. Trump criticizes Russian president amid continued battle in Ukraine. Trump is not happy with Putin. I love to hear this. Take a listen.
Provide us an update on Russia and Ukraine as well.
Yeah, I'll give you an update. I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities, and I don't like it at all.
Talk that talk, Trump. Talk that talk, yo. You know? Hey, I always say one thing you have to do is give Donald Trump credit for campaigning and doing what he campaigned on. You have to give him credit for that. Whether you hate everything he campaigned about and the fact that you hate everything he's doing what he said. Mr. President, you also said that you would end the battle within 24 hours. It's been like 4 months, bruh. You know what I'm saying? So although I do like this energy, and I did see that he put out a tweet or True Social or whatever, and he's saying that, hey, Putin, what are you doing? You're playing around. I don't know how far he will go. I don't know if he's going to talk to him like how we talked to Zelensky. I really doubt it, but I like this energy, and I would like to see this campaign promise brought to an end. You did your tariffs, you did your immigration, you know who to talk to and whose button to press is when you're ready. Let me see you be that same guy, keep that same energy with Putin. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Our 14th quick story. All right, jail update. 3 escaped inmates captured in Texas. Leo Tate and Jermaine Donald were arrested in Walker County, Texas by the Texas Department of Public Safety. All right, remember this last week, or maybe it's been 2 weeks by now, those 10 guys that broke out of jail. Remember they wrote on the wall, "Too easy," and we played that video of them running out of the jail like nothing and then running across the highway. Well, as predicted, they were going to get caught. 8 have been caught. 2 are still at large. Last week, 2 women were arrested. I don't know if they were aunts or like girlfriends or something, but I heard over the weekend, one of their grandmothers were also arrested for giving her grandson money. Like, I get it. They're trying to set an example, but that's just crazy work. Anyways, we'll see. We'll see. The fact that there's 2 left, the fact that there is 2 left still at large, I'm actually pretty impressed. I'm not going to lie, because it's been like 2 weeks. If you're out this long, they're probably not going to catch you, but they're probably just going to like have the people who they caught snitch on them. Someone's going to know where they are. You're going to get less time. By the end of the week, if they're not caught, they're out. They're probably out the country. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about these escaped inmates in the comment section below. All right, this brings me to my favorite segment, comments of the day. All right, I got some really good comments today, but before I even get to reading or and asking you guys a question, I promised at the top of the show that I would address my little mistake. So, Friday's episode, well, Thursday night, is it Friday? Yeah, Friday morning episode. I was like, yay, guys. Yeah, I was on the road and I was like, yo, there's no court Friday. And so we're not going to have a Friday night show. And then I said a Friday night special show like that I've been doing for Friday in court. Then I said, and also too, because Memorial Day, there is no court on Monday. So in my head, I was like, cool, I don't have to do a show on Monday. So I had Friday off, Saturday, Sunday. So then Monday came and I was like, hold on a second. I'm confused now. Do we do shows only according to Diddy to follow the trial, or do we not? And then I totally got confused and I was like, I'm just going to take the day. And then I woke up on Tuesday thinking that I was right. My mother texted me. I got DMs. People are like, yo, where's the show at? So I totally messed up. Yes, because we normally do a Sunday night, Monday morning. And then the Monday night, Tuesday morning show, that's how we get caught up with the Diddy stuff. But I was just thinking because we're going to give you guys a Friday show that I would have just taken Monday off. So sorry that I got some of you a little upset at me. I'm very happy to hear that you missed the show. I will definitely not do that again. And I'll definitely give you guys a Friday show, even if it's a quick one this Friday to keep you up with Diddy. All right. So my bad, but I did have a nice little day. I had a day to myself. I got like my summer stuff ready, like patio stuff and everything. So I had a nice little day. My bad. Anyways, I do have a very important question for you guys, all right? Is your computer, laptop, or cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? Well, let me answer that question for you. Yes, they are if you're not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform. Just go to my sponsor below, aura.com/Trent Out Loud for my 14-day free trial so you can see if any of your data has been exposed. Have you guys missed me reading this to you or not? You know it's fun, don't lie. If you're ever wondering how scammers get your cell phone or why your inbox is flooded with spam, well, here is why. There are companies called data brokers that sell your data. They do it without your consent and they make billions of dollars to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. This is why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my family, friends, and out louders. Aura takes care of the hard part for you, automatically removing your information off of sites and keeping it off. Aura is an all-in-one digital security platform. If you already have a digital security tool, that's cool, but that's like having your front door locked and leaving your back door open, not having Aura, okay? There's no security tool that does a better job. You want to make sure your windows, doors, your garage door, and everything is sealed up when it comes to your banking information, all right? Trust me, sign up to Aura. With Aura, you get alerts if your personal information is found on the dark web. You get real-time fraud alerts for credit card and banking, a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and they have a US-based support system around the clock. And if anything goes wrong, Aura also includes a $5 million identity theft insurance protection package. Trust me, Aura is it. Every day I tell you guys, I joke around because I just need to have fun reading this this pitch. I can't just read it boring, but it is a great platform to use, honestly, if you're ever on the internet, and which all of us are, right? Your credit card information, all that stuff. With the link below, Aura will give you a 14-day free trial, and within that 14 days, Aura will search out on the dark web for any of your information. They will take it off. They will remove it for you. It's literally free to sign up, and then you see everything that it can do. Make sure that your security card, your social security number, your banking, your credit cards, all of that stuff is secure. They do that all for free. And then after that is all done, after the 14 days, that's up to y'all if you want to continue, all right? I just got you guys 14 days free trial, so make sure you guys sign up. Here is the QR code. You can take out your phone, just turn on your camera, point it at the screen, boom, voila, it will take you there. For those of you who are not familiar with Aura, they are the leaders in the country. They used to be the jersey label for the Minnesota Timberwolves. We'll talk about the Timberwolves in a minute in sports news, but they used to be the jersey logo. Here is Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns when he used to be with the Timberwolves. I'm sure they actually wish they would have kept him because Knicks is winning and Minnesota is not. But like I said, we'll get to that in sports news. Make sure you guys sign up, okay? Now, and also I have to also remind you, Aura is only available in the US. They are working on to have features for the rest of the world, and they promised me that when they do, I will get first dibs and we will get you guys like the best promo. People have DM'd me saying, this is really cool. I want to sign up, but I can't. For now, this is only available to people in the US. My Americans out there, trust me, use the link. There's a lot of people all over the world that wish that they had this kind of protection, all right? Use this link and get protected 14 days for free. Now, let's get to the comments. My first comment, I'm going to the DMs. I'm going to try to start not only going YouTube, but there's also some in Spotify and Apple on also DM. So just comments from everywhere. First comment is from RSN Queen. I think that's what it is. Says, your coverage is incredible. Keep up the great work. I don't watch a single podcast other than yours. Really, really like that. Love to hear that. I myself too never watched podcasts before I even started my own. And even now that I have my own, I really don't listen to a lot of them. I try to make this format different, and I hope that it feels different. And I love to hear comments like that you guys, not saying don't listen to any other podcast, but I like when people are not used to listening to podcasts and they do. So thank you, RSN Queen. And thanks for the DM. All right. Next one is from Tutu. Tutu Douglas. Hey, Trent, it's Tutu from the Carolinas, and I just wanted to point out that Capricorn Clark is Lauren London's sister. I'm sure if you did your research, you would find the connection between Diddy, Lauren, and Nipsey. Didn't want to believe it myself, but the facts are there. I think you're awesome, and if you ever want a female co-host, hit me up. I can't give you any babies, but I can give you a damn good show. Well, thank you, Tutu. Appreciate that. Do I really tell people how much I want babies that much that people in the comment section are like, yo, I can't give you babies? Yes, I might be going through a little baby fever right now, okay? So I do know the connection between Lauren London, and I do know the alleged connection with Nipsey Hussle, and they're thinking that they could have been involved with some of the freak-offs. I know, but look, when we were going through the Diddy civil cases, I gave you guys a lot of tea at that point. I feel like it's important for me now to talk more facts when we're talking about what Diddy's on trial with. I don't want to get people misconstrued with all the other hearsay things that are going on. This one is this one's sister. This might have happened and that one. Like, I'm trying to really focus on the legal parameters and what's going on with the trial. So I do know, and I do know about Lauren London. I do know about Nipsey, and I do know about all the allegations. But I think for the people testifying and for the fact that this is in court, I really want to try to focus on the legal proceedings and what is going on day to day and not get caught up with all the other stuff. All right. We did that a lot, and we're going to have a lot of time after. Trust me. I don't think this is going away. Thank you very much for your comments. And if I ever am looking for a co-host, I'll definitely hit you up. Shout out to you and the Carolinas. All right, next one comes from Kim. I have a social discussion of the day that I think would be interesting. When last did you cry? All right, Kim, that's a really good one, and it did inspire me. I have a little bit of a tweak on it, but I am going to kind of implement your comment in social discussion. By the way, when you guys are commenting, please, if you ever have a good question of the day or social discussion of the day, what is something else? I think those are two things that are kind of just could be out there. Yeah, if you ever have a good question of the day or social discussion of the day, please put it in the comment section. And just know, sometimes we don't see every single comment. We try our best to get through and see every single one, but don't get mad if we don't see your comment, okay? People are like, oh, somebody said the other day, oh, you only read girls' comments. Yo, 3/4 of the time, you can't even tell by the avatar if it's a girl or a boy. We're not picking girl or boys. It just so happens that there's a lot more women commenting because I have a bigger female audience, almost 75%. And when I do see a guy's comment, I always try to call it out. And I'm like, yo, finally a guy is commenting. So I do have a bigger women demographic, and women comment more. So dudes, if you were going to comment, first of all, make sure that your avatar, I could know that it's a guy, or even say guy or whatever. But anyways, whatever. We'll try our best. It's impossible. I read 2 or 3 comments out of 150. So please don't get mad if we don't see your comment. But yeah, if you want to give me suggestions for question of the day and social discussion of the day. That is it. Oh no, I have one more. Next one is from Kim. Didn't I just read Kim? All right, sorry. This is another Kim. Kim says, all I got to say is thank you. I am 68. Love your podcast, and you're not too bad to look at. Oh, I forgot to say, I love your silliness too. From South Central Los Angeles, home of Nipsey Hussle. All right, man, you all know I love my West Coast, West Side. That's where Pops Sims is from. Thanks, Kim. I wonder if Kim and Pops knows each other. I love that you like that I'm silly. That's actually why I put that out here, because I am never going to stop being silly. You got to just love it, man. It's just part of getting entertainment news and political news. You got to take my silliness, because if we're not going to have fun, then I ain't going to do this. Thanks for all the comments, y'all. All right, this brings us to social discussion of the day. Men calling their homies just to say goodnight has TikTok in shambles. All right, we posted, I think, 10 of them up on our formerly Out Loud Instagram account, FORMALLY Out Loud, formerly Out Loud. It's really here. All the boys had the same energy. A new trend on TikTok has men calling their friends randomly before bed to say goodnight. I'm going to play 2 little clips here for you, and then I'll let you know the social discussion. Take a look.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just see you tomorrow, bro. I was just trying to say goodnight.
Bro, what the You straight, dog? You good?
What you mean?
You just call and say goodnight.
What's up, bro?
What it is, man?
I said I was getting in bed. I was just calling to tell you good night.
You mean you call tell me good night?
Chilling. Gonna get in bed. Telling you good night. Sweet dreams.
You straight, Carl?
Yeah.
Man, what's going on with you, fam?
Not too much. Just chilling.
I was calling you, man. I just got in the bed, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to tell you good night. Oh, man.
Okay, I know it's supposed to be funny, but I actually want to bring this into a little bit of a serious conversation. And like I said, it goes to, I think it was Kim's comment before. It's like, when last did you cry? And females, join in if you would like. When's the last time you cried? But men, I wanted to put this in here to you and women to know what you think. Is it really wrong for men to open up to other men? Is it wrong for men to talk to their emotions, talk about their emotions with other men? Now, let me just be very clear. No, I don't want to call any of my boys to tell them goodnight. Let's just make that clear. But I do find that in my circle and a lot of other men's circle, I don't feel like I have enough men to call to have conversations with. And I hate it. I really honestly do. If you ask anybody that knows me, any like time I have to get to have an in-depth conversation about men and women, you'll hear me say that, sometimes I really just don't like men, Like I really, really don't. And that's why since I've been young, I've always felt more comfortable being around women. Even when I was younger, I think I told you guys this before. Like my dad thought that I was a little like, when I was a little younger, he's Jamaican too. That's another thing. But like I was in a girl group once, like there was like 6 girls and me, but I always liked talking and I always liked being to communicate. And I feel like a lot of men don't communicate enough. I have one friend who just in the past year or so, I'm not even really that close to anymore for something else, but I just feel like men got to do a better job of being a little bit more open to other men. And I guess the question is it okay? Well, a couple of questions. You guys know me. Is it okay for men to open up and talk about their emotions or questions or feelings, or if they're scared or anxieties or whatever it is to other men? And why? Why aren't men like that? It drives me nuts. I think I've talked to you guys about this before. I can pick up the phone and call my mom and speak with her. If we're ever driving somewhere, I have a flowing, good conversation. I get a car with my dad. It's like, hey, what's up? What's up, Dad? Hey, about this? Yep. If I say, talk to him about anything. Okay. Yep. Not really. No, like I get one word answers. If I call him on the phone, like nothing. I guess like my guy cousin, I have a little bit more, but even him too, like he's a little bit more like black and white, and his wife would be like, gosh, you're the only one that could get him to talk a little bit more about his emotions, And I guess like that is all my guys friends that I have, they all know that I'm like, oh gosh, Trent's about to get deep, or oh gosh, here we go with Trent talking about this. But I don't know. I don't find that there's anything unmanly about it. I don't think that there's anything soft about it at all. Like I am the most alpha guy in my guy group. I'm the most ambitious in my guy group. I am the most athletic in my guy group. Football, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I guess maybe because I'm overly confident in my manhood that like, why should I care about talking to you about my emotions? Like, and because as you guys know, I'm the type of person that I like to get feedback from other people. That's why I love having this podcast, and it's taught me so much. And like I ask you guys, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And it's been giving me a more of an outlet than I even thought. Like I say all the time, like I do the show with you guys. I need you guys. And it's become where I joke, but like you guys have become a part of me and my family so that I can throw my ideas out there, because there's a lot of guy friends that I don't have that will do that. And indirectly, that's why I think I have more women following and not as many men. But I throw the question back to you. Why don't more men open up and talk to each other? And do you guys think, ladies and men, do you think that it's wrong to do that? I don't think so at all. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to question of the day. What is a propaganda that you're not falling for? All right, this is some funny stuff. Money doesn't buy happiness. Okay, I could 100% tell you that money doesn't buy happiness, and you should believe that propaganda. Next person said, women versus men agenda, knowing darn well we need each other. So you are believing the propaganda or you're not? Anyways, men are polyamorous by nature. Yeah, that you don't have to believe that propaganda, but where that is coming from is the animalistic qualities in the wild, that it is normal in nature. But yes, it is propaganda, because the difference between us and animals in nature is the fact that we have a conscience and that we have a brain and we're superior beings. So it kind of really doesn't correlate. So you might have an instinct. Maybe the instinct is, somebody said I think they put polyglamorous for a reason. Anyways, yeah, I don't believe that either. That marriage is just a piece of paper. Yeah, okay. Don't believe that either. That any type of surgery, cosmetic, filler, Botox be normalized. I think that I understand why people are trying to normalize it, because it's her body, her choice, or his body, his choice. And I don't know, should that become normalized? It's 2025, man. I think we're going to come to a point where internally we're going to start changing things. You're going to be able to replace organs and stuff and live a longer time. So what's the difference of, swapping out, lung or a heart or this or that, or part of your brain or your hand, and then do this, and then changing your face or your body? Eesh, you might just have to normalize that. Cheating being part of ups and downs of a relationship or a marriage, and struggle to be loved. Who's trying to normalize that? That's crazy. Letting people around me that love making bad decisions because that's just their life. Yeah, let's not normalize that at all. Calling Twitter X. I cannot stand calling Twitter X. You guys hear me all the time say tweet in Twitter. I totally get with that. Working until you're 80, 90 years old. I'll be that guy. Okay, I can't say that one. Working 2 jobs and having a side hustle. I am a workaholic, so I don't know. But fine, I get not believing that. Let's maybe not normalize that. The earth is a sphere. Oh my gosh, this person is a flat earther. Having kids. Let's normalize that. This is propaganda we're going to believe. No. Oh, this is a good one. Blood is thicker than water. Oof. That's a good one. That propaganda you should believe. What is a propaganda you're not falling for? You're not falling for the fact that blood... I guess. But blood is thicker than water. It is, but I see what you're saying. All men are the same. Yo, let's clap it up. Let's not believe that all men are the same. Please. Gosh, I am witness, okay? I am not like all men. Sorry that I drag guys, but it's my thing. My next book will be about that, by the way. I can't give out the title because I haven't copywritten it yet. But my next book is about men and women. And anyways, I won't give it away, but all men are not the same, okay? Working till I'm 60. Men work like women. Get that? Situationships. Should we normalize situationships? I feel like as time goes on, people are starting to really normalize situationships. Okay, paying taxes. Okay, you have no choice. Sorry. Overworking yourself to keep up. It's true. We definitely should normalize that. I agree with that. I went through a period in my life where I was overworking myself to keep up, and 100%. Oh, no. What else? Somebody said the current presidency. Well, you better normalize it. He's going to be here for the next 3.5 years, buddy. And he got voted in 7 swing states, popular vote. I know some people are going to say it was fixed, but let's not get into that, right? All right, I think that's pretty good. I'm going to leave some for you guys. Black men don't cheat. Wow, that's horrible. Maybe we can get into that. Being the land of the free, voting. Oh, somebody said Cassie being a victim. Oh, that's not nice. That is not nice. Protect all women, believe all women. Okay, y'all are getting nasty now. No. All right, yo, let me know in the comment section below. What is some propaganda that you're not believing? What are we normalizing that you don't think that should be normalized? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to sports news. All right, very, very sad to report. Since we last spoke, I think I missed a couple of games, but Minnesota Timberwolves are not going to make it to the finals. Let's just call it what it is. Minnesota here, you'll see the score. OKC beat Timberwolves 28-26. It wasn't that close. OKC was leading the whole way. Anytime Timberwolves came back a little bit close, they pulled away. They're just too good. Shooting is too good. That last blowout game where probably is going to be the only game that Timberwolves won, OKC was just having an off night. OKC is just too strong. I said that. I was going for the Wolves, but I knew that OKC would win. I was hoping, but after this game here, after game 4, it's a wrap for the Wolves, man. The Knicks, however, are playing tonight, depending on when you're watching this. The Knicks, they brought their series to 2-1, and I predict they will tie it up tonight in Indiana, and it will be 2-2. And I think the Knicks will probably make it. I want them to. I just don't want the Pacers and OKC in the finals. That will be so boring. Of course, I'll go for OKC, but that would be so boring. You got to have the Knicks. You got to have a crowd, like a fan favorite, a crowd favorite. Sorry, guys, in the finals. You know. Anyways, I'm rooting for Knicks. Really sad to see the Timberwolves go. I don't understand what Anthony Edwards is doing, what he's thinking. He was not playing with any sort of aggression. He only had 15 points. What's the other guy's name? Randall too. He was just a horrible game. I'm very disappointed that was my second team that I was going for. Anyways, let me know who you're going for. Let me know who you think is going to make it into the finals in the comment section below. All right, you guys, that is a wrap on today's show. Thank you so much for kicking it with me. As I said, sorry for missing Monday's show, leaving you guys high and dry out there. I'll make it up Friday, unless there's really nothing going on Friday. Then I'll just have a 3-day work week. Whoop, whoop. My mom's really gonna get mad at me. Anyways, thank you for kicking with me. Do want to remind you guys one more time, make sure you sign up and check out Aura. It is free for 14 days. They will search the web, find out if any information has been leaked, take it all down for you, have you starting over from scratch. I'll put up the QR code. Once again, take your phones out, put on your cameras, point it at the screen. It will take you right to my link, a free 14-day trial, and it'll be up to you after that if you would like to continue. That's between you and Aura, the leader in digital security protection, all right? If you have a cell phone, bank account, whatever, computer, if you're online, trust me, you've been breached at some point. Aura will find it and take care of it for you free for the first 14 days. Before I let you guys go, just want to remind you of all the ways to keep up with the Toronto Loud podcast. For my YouTubers who are used to watching the show on YouTube, if you're ever going on a flight or going in a car, you don't have access to the internet, have no fear, because the Trent Out Loud podcast is available on all podcast platforms, and you could just download the show and take us with you. Just go to any podcast site, type in Trent Out Loud, the show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And just like YouTube, we upload daily. Now, vice versa, for those of you who are used to listening to the Trent Out Loud podcast on podcast platforms, thank you so much for all your support and your downloads. We love you. However, we would love for you guys to come over and hang out with us over here on YouTube. That's where most of the Out Louders are. The comment section is just lit, and it is just a better experience watching video. I know Spotify has video, but just trust me, YouTube is a vibe, all right? Come hang out with us here. Head on over to YouTube, type in Trent Out Loud, the show will pop up. A couple of housekeeping rules. You got to hit that subscribe button. You got to hit that like button to get the algorithming. And please make sure you comment below. That's super important. I do this podcast by myself, but I need your interaction. If I don't have you answering or joining in with me, I'm just here by myself and it gets lonely, all right? For those of you who don't want to join in the conversation, that's cool too. Feel free to just be like, hey, Trent, what's up? I'm watching from such and such place. This is a global podcast, and I like to see where you all are writing me from. For those of you who are really enjoying the show, please try to share it with your family, friends, and loved ones, because that definitely helps in growing the channel. Lastly, for those of you who want to follow me outside the show, I'm available on all social platforms, and it's always the same handle, Trent Out Loud. I'm the most active on Instagram. I post your comments in my stories, so you can check me out there. And we also have a blog on Instagram, formerly Out Loud. We'll post stories that we'll talk about on the podcast if you guys want to get some advance notice. And we also put the full videos on formerly Out Loud. Things that have copyright issues or swearing that we can't say, we'll put the full uncensored over on formerly Out Loud on Instagram. All right, FORMALLY Out Loud. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a great day. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace!